morning. All right. Listen, we already knew this was coming. We saw this one coming. Okay. Let me know in the comment section if you all saw this coming. Listen, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau orders Equifax. You guys can see this right here. This is today. This is today. Has ordered Equifax to pay $15 million for improper investigations of credit reporting errors. I told you 2025 is going to be the year that shakes up the entire credit industry. Okay. When I say credit industry, I'm talking about the bureaus, the reporting, all of it. All right. Let's get right into it. So, as we know, right here, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau found that Equifax ignored consumer documents and evidence submitted with disputes, allowed previously deleted inaccuracies to be reinserted on credit reports, provided confusing and conflicting letters to consumers about the results of its investigations, and used flawed software code, which led to inaccurate consumer credit scores. The order requires Equifax to comply with federal law. Hold on to that. We're going to talk about that in a hot second. And Equifax must pay $15 million civil money penalty, which will be deposited into the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's Victims Relief Fund. Now, what does that mean? First off, let's talk about what the Victim Relief Fund is so you all know what this is. Okay, let me zoom in on this. I know you guys can't see this page yet. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make sure I can actually put it on the screen. You guys can actually see this. Give me a second here. Okay. So again, now, by the way, Instagram, as you all are watching this, comment the word live and you all can actually see my screen right here as we are live on YouTube right now. Okay. So now check this out. The Civil Penalty Fund. Okay. This is an act that started in 2010. Congress established a Victims Relief Fund called the Civil Penalty Fund to provide money to people who have been harmed by companies that break federal consumer financial protection laws. So in short, we talking about checks. Okay. Now let's go back. Now, first off, this is what they found. It was that, let me go and make myself put it back on here. Okay. So now this is what we found. This is what they found, that Equifax failed to thoroughly investigate consumer disputes, that they also were adding previously deleted errors back on credit reports, and failing to block identity theft related information. That's not it. Next, they shared inaccurate credit scores and data about consumers with lenders. Okay. The company also reported the same credit accounts multiple times for more than 50,000 consumers, which we know is higher than that. We most definitely know it's higher than that. Now, check this out. Check this out. This is what we talked about the other day. Now, what does this mean for the future? Let me ask you all a question. If the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, if this is all about accuracy, you know what's about to happen. These companies, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of Equifax. You just got hit with a $15 million fine, right? A $15 million fine. Now you got the money. We know you got the money. That's not the point. It's bad business to continue to get hit with a $15 million fine every single year. So what are you going to do, Equifax? Now, again, I'm putting you in Equifax shoes. What are you going to do? You are going to make sure that going forward, everything is 100% accurate. Now, how do you do that? Something has to change. We talked about this with Experian. Y'all know who's next. Who's next for those who's been watching? Who's next? What's the next credit bureau that's next? We're talking about Equifax today. What's the next credit bureau that's going to be next? Put that in the comment section. Check this out. I want you all to ask yourself a question I don't think we thought about. What if What if, because again, this is about accuracy. What if we had negative information removed from our credit reports? You got it right, Ms. Virgo. TransUnion. TransUnion. By the way, YouTube, I know y'all lighting up the comment section. Give me a second. We're going to jump into that in a hot second, I promise. I want you all to pay attention to something. What if you were able to get something removed from your credit report, but it was accurate, but it was also inaccurate? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Where we know that charge-off it was probably accurate, that repossession was probably accurate, that collection, that late payment, that inquiry, whatever. What if with the new, because they got to change something. What if the change brings back that negative item to your credit report, but it's now accurate? Because remember, let's be honest. Number one, most people don't care about the accuracy of the credit report. We more so are trying to get the points from the negative items. That's number one. Number two, there are inaccuracies on credit reports. We talked about that. There are most definitely some inaccuracies on credit reports, and Equifax did not do their job 100%. But what I'm saying is, here, let me give you another example. If you say, hey, I'll give you $20 if you give me 10. The person gives you $8. You're not going to get them $20. But if they give you $2 more, which is now $10, you're now going to give them what? The $20, right? Hold on to that thought. If something got removed from your credit report because it was inaccurate, and it most definitely probably has some inaccuracies, the date was wrong, the amount owed was wrong, right? Though again, there was something inaccurate about that account in which it honestly, truly needed to get removed. This is what people don't think about. What if they now they fix that inaccuracy? What if they get the balance right? What if they get the last payment date right? What if whatever the inaccuracy was, what if they actually make that accurate? Is it going to be on our credit report? Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Calvin, what about the laws? You know, I used to think laws matter. I want you all to take a step back. Let's think about outside of credit reports. How many laws have changed in the United States in the last 12 months? Trump has showed us laws don't matter. Guess what administration is coming in? The laws don't matter group. Laws don't matter. Now we're going to see. Now, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, if this is about accuracy, what if they make the inaccuracy information accurate? Something is going to change. Do you all see this? Listen, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I say. And I'm not against any process. I want to be clear. I want to be one. I've been talking about this for years. What I'm saying is that if they're doing all this drama, because let's be honest, if it's inaccurate, just remove it. Let's be totally honest. If it's inaccurate, just remove it. This is how simple this can be. But what they're going to do is something's going to change. Either the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is going to get more involved with the reporting process. And what other process? The dispute process. So if we say, hey, the fill in the blank, my charge off is inaccurate because of fill in the blank. My collection is inaccurate because fill in the blank. My inquiry is inaccurate because fill in the blank. My bankruptcy is inaccurate because fill in the blank. What ends up happening if they say, no problem, let us fix that inaccuracy? Because remember, we talk a lot about laws and we talk a lot about disputes. That inaccurate information must be removed. Key word is inaccurate. What if they just make it accurate? They fix fill in the blank. They say, hey, you know what? You're right. Your charge off did have a wrong balance. We just updated that for you. Your bankruptcy did have the wrong date. We just updated that for you. That's what disputing really is. Dispute does not mean delete. Are you all hearing me? Someone put that in the comments. Dispute does not mean delete. Dispute means correct. And if it's not corrected within a certain time frame, then it must be removed. They're going to make sure that all disputes are corrected. That your information, your addresses, all them addresses you say get removed, they're going to remove them. But do understand one thing. If it's inaccurate, dispute means correct, not remove. Okay? So again, this is something that's going to change the industry. This is going to change the industry. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, people are about to get paid. They're about to get some checks. But you got to understand something. You got to understand something. If there's ever a time to be on top of paying your bills and building your credit, because here's the thing. Let's be honest. Let's not even talk about disputes. At the end of the day, we know that we're going to continue borrowing money. We're going to continue building our credit scores. We're going to continue doing all of those things. Am I right or wrong? We're going to continue to improve our credit scores, qualify for home ownership, get cars, get credit cards, qualify for business funding. We're going to keep doing that. Am I right or wrong? I'm right. I know I am. My point is that means in order to really get that score, you got to pay a bill on time. You got to build the relationships right. You got to get the right credit mix. You got to pay Chase on time this time. You got to pay American Express on time this time. You play a role in this. You play a role. I'm talking about, again, imagine a world if negative items. I just want you to mentally prepare for this. Imagine a world where negative items stay on your credit report because it's now accurate. Have we thought about that? Have we thought about things that have gotten removed because of the law and it was right? It was inaccurate, positive or negative. It was inaccurate. Therefore, it should be removed because it was never corrected within a certain time frame. They're going to be changing some things. You know why? These companies are not going to keep taking $15 million hits every single year. They can't control data breaches. Let's be honest. They can't control the other stuff, right? But what can they control? Something's going to change. They're going to say, because they're going to ask the question, why are so many people saying that things are inaccurate? What's the problem? Equifax is going to blame us. They're going to say, look, this person says that this is inaccurate. We got the information from this company because not every dispute is ignored. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Not every dispute is ignored. What's going to happen when they actually step in and they say, hey, dispute, this is how the process is going to go. Dispute comes in, right? Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or some type of change is going to happen. They're going to look at it and they're going to do like they normally do. They're going to say, okay, no problem. Send you an email, send you an update saying, hey, we're processing your dispute. We're going to make sure we fix the error because that's what dispute means. We're going to fix the error, correct the error on your credit report. And if it is inaccurate, if it is incorrect, we will either correct it or remove it from your credit report. They're going to make sure it's correct. You all do understand this because some people think dispute means delete. Now, I'm not knocking the process. This is why so many things were being removed because people at Equifax, Experian, TransUnion were not doing their job. And also, too, things were inaccurate. We don't want what you don't want. We've been telling them for years, this is inaccurate. This is inaccurate. This is inaccurate. This is inaccurate. Remove it from my credit report. What are you guys doing over there? They're going to say, no problem. Let's get this accurate. Let's go into the comments. I want to see what you guys think about this. We knew this was coming. Michael says, excellent. Right? We knew it was going to happen to Equifax. Winnie's in the house. Appreciate you being here. Travis is in the house. Appreciate you being here. Winnie, yay. They have to pay. They do need to pay. Listen, they've been just simply not doing their job. You know, I had a client named Mary. I used to work with Mary a while back. And she has a very common name. I won't put her whole name out there. She has a very common name. Long story short, that common name was getting mixed up with some lady in like Minnesota or something like that. Truly inaccurate information, like truly inaccurate information. And the bureaus were giving her such a hard time to get this stuff removed. Such a hard time to get this stuff removed. She was like, Calvin, like, why do I have to go through this? It shouldn't be this difficult, and it should not be that difficult. So I showed her. So essentially, she, of course, hired our company. This is when we used to do disputes at the time. And we did the disputes, which, by the way, disputes are coming back in the future. But we're going to see how this play out. I'm telling you this. We're going to see how this plays out. Because the dispute process, let's be honest, because somebody got mad. Somebody in the comments got mad at me at the last video and said 90% wouldn't be the case. Let's just say 80%. 80% of disputes are really people trying to get accurate information removed. Let's be honest. Even if it's inaccurate, let's be totally honest, we really don't want them to fix it. When we dispute something that's negative and it's hurting our credit score, we're not looking for them to correct it. Am I right or wrong? Okay. Anyway, so with Mary, we disputed the information with the proper documentation, and we were able to get that, man, it was accounts that was on there that wasn't hers. There was a bankruptcy that was on there that it honestly was not her. She has a very common name. Either way, long story short, able to get that removed for her and get her credit report accurate. Here's what you all have to understand. They're going to make sure that things are going to be accurate. Let's keep going. Aaliyah says, good for them. They are guilty as charged. 100%. That means they have now. Here's the crazy part. We've been knowing this for years. We've been knowing that they have not been opening up these disputes properly. They haven't been investigating this stuff. Like, it's like, come on, man. You didn't even look at this. Where did you get this information from? How did you validate this? How did you verify this? This is real stuff. I'm being totally honest. All right. Ms. Mira says, good morning. Florida is in the house. Florida is in the house. Appreciate Florida being in the house. Soldier Boy says, I just seen this from the CFPB. Absolutely. Winnie says Experian. Oh, Winnie. Yeah, we did Experian. We did Experian. Was it today's Friday? So I think it was, I don't know. That was last week, I think. But yes, TransUnion is next. Soldier Boy's right. TransUnion is next. Travis says TransUnion. Menissi says TransUnion. TransUnion. Apostle Joan is in the house. Appreciate you being here this morning. TransUnion, right? TransUnion. Rio says, already got mines. Oh, no. No, Rio. That's the old money. You talking about the data breach money. This is new money. This is new money. This is brand new. Listen, someone commented on my Experian video. She said, this is old information. I already got my check. Nope. This is brand new. Let me tell you something. The credit bureaus have never, for those who are watching this, the credit bureaus have never gotten in trouble for this. Never. Not to this scale. Never. Never. If they would have, y'all gonna see what's gonna happen. Now, again, they got in trouble for like data breach stuff and some other stuff, but never being caught with not doing their job. You know what I'm saying? Like to the extent, like ignoring disputes, putting negative information back on credit. This has never happened at this magnitude. Listen, get ready. TransUnion is next. Aaliyah says, I would love for them to do their job. That's all we're asking for, is to do your job. If it's inaccurate, remove it, or what? Correct it, which is removing it if it's inaccurate. And it's not mine. But if it's, I want people to understand this because some people have it confused. And you may need to ask your local credit repair person what the answer is. If it's not going to get removed, it's going to get what? Corrected. You got to know that. You got to know that. Rio says you can leverage the data breach and get things removed. Absolutely. Raf says, what about the incomplete bankruptcies? Absolutely. And if it's an incomplete bankruptcy and that's deemed as inaccurate, then it will be removed. But guess what? If there's information missing, it will be re-reported and they will make sure it's accurate. You all, listen, we have forgotten what credit reports are supposed to be. Credit reports are supposed to be accurate. This is about accuracy. Let's not forget this. They're going to make sure that this stuff is accurate because it's not a good business model to keep getting hit with a $15 million fine every single year. Right? If you're Equifax, if you're Equifax right now, what are you going to do? You got two choices. Either, because if you remove accurate information, you're still not doing your job. You see, no, I'm just being honest. I know that's what we want as consumers. I'm not knocking that. But think about what their job is. If we want them to really do their job, y'all gonna see. Rio says they're not gonna do that. They don't have enough manpower to correct everything. They just gonna have to delete it. Nah, Rio, that's what we want to happen. Think about it like this. If you go to a McDonald's and every time you go to this McDonald's, it's always packed. Like every time you go, you're more than likely not going to keep going, right? If it's always packed. Every time I go, it's always packed. We live in Chicago. There's a restaurant called Portillo's. It's always a line. Or Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A anywhere in America has always got a line, right? Eventually, one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to hire more staff, or they're going to change the process, or they're going to get a bigger restaurant. I know Rio wants... listen, and I'm with you, Rio. I am not against what you're saying. He says they don't have enough manpower. I totally understand that. So what does that mean? That means they're going to automate some of these processes. They're going to change some of these processes. They're going to hire more people. Something has to change. They are not going to keep getting hit with $15 million fines. Let me go further into this. You're a bank. You are a bank. You rely on credit reports and credit scores to have, because you say, hey, listen, in order for this person to buy a house, I need to see what their Equifax credit score is, and I need to see what's on their Equifax credit report. I'm relying on Equifax to give me an accurate report. If Equifax just says, man, forget it, we just going to delete everything. Now you have a 500 credit score looking like a 700 credit score. They give them the loan. They don't pay. Because they're a 500 credit score. They're going to do what 500 credit scores do. You have to change as a person. See, some people don't want to hear this part. I'm not talking about disputes. I'm talking about what happens after the dispute. You got the credit score, or the stuff got removed, or whatever, right? Let's say we're past that point. Now you're the mortgage company. They just approved somebody for a mortgage. They're really a 500, but now since the negative information has been removed, they're now 700. They're trying to figure out why this 700 hasn't paid them yet. They're trying to figure out why this 750 credit score has not paid their auto loan yet, because most 750s pay their stuff on time. Most 720s pay their stuff on time. Most 680s pay their stuff on time. They're trying to figure out why. Why is this person not paying me? Change it. Something's going to have to change. They're not just going to sit back and press delete, 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 delete. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Because what's the purpose of having credit bureaus that they're going to delete everything? Let's be honest. Do we want them to delete our positive information? Yes or no? Exactly. Okay. Listen, Apostle Jones says, these are not bureaus. Credit bureau agencies, they are credit agencies. B says, that's BS. Aaliyah says, it wouldn't affect me, but do you think they'll change things retroactively? Absolutely, Aaliyah. I'm so glad you brought that up, Aaliyah. Watch this. That was one of the questions I was just talking about. What if? Because remember, if it's inaccurate, it's not supposed to be on your credit report. What if they make it accurate? Should it be on your credit report? I'm asking you, what do you all think? If something was inaccurate, let's take positive or negative out of the equation. If it's inaccurate and it fell under the guidelines and it got removed from your credit report, if they make it accurate, should it be on your credit report? Let me know in the comments. See, different question. Because see, we think, oh man, it's negative. It's hurting me. Let me try my best to get this removed. Let's think on the positive side too, right? It's about accuracy. They're going to, listen, Equifax is going to make sure they do everything in their physical power to make sure that they never get hit with a $15 million fine again. So listen, Rio most definitely is onto something. They're either going to delete something or they had a process. But remember, if you delete accurate information, guess what that makes the credit report? Inaccurate. Right? B says, What the H? Laws don't matter group? Listen, I'm telling you, she says, and you like all of this crime, dishonest thought process. Wow, bye. B, this may not be the right channel for you. See, the thing is, what you have to understand is, I'm not saying we're going against the laws. You're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that remember we used to have belief. We used to have belief in the legal system. I lost a lot of belief in that legal system because you get these laws and they make it seem like it just doesn't care, or they can easily change a law. Let me at least say that they can easily change a law with the snap of a finger. Okay, I'm saying keep an eye out on that. I've been advocating for things not to be on your credit report for 7 years. I've been advocating for this. I don't think it's fair. If a person has a charge off and it's there, right? Let them, if they decide to pay the charge off, give me my points back, right? Remove it from my credit report if I pay it off. Let's be honest. We shouldn't have to dispute certain things. Now, don't get me wrong. Disputing is for inaccurate information. But if it's ours and we know, and it's hurting our credit report, give us the opportunity to make it right. Say, listen, because I know I have some real adults watching this. And by that, I mean adults that say, yeah, you know what, that was my mistake. But I'm in a better financial position right now and I can actually pay that off. If I pay that off, can you at least give me my points back? Or can you at least remove it from my credit report? That's what should be on the table. That's what should be on the table. Am I wrong? Or do we want to keep doing it like this? Are you guys honestly okay with constantly having to do it like this? Disputing it, hoping it gets removed? No, it should be, hey, I messed up in the past, but let me fix this, right? I had the late payment, but if I make 10 payments on time, can you remove the late payment? Or can we not go back to my late pay? Like, I know, listen, it's an adult report card. What do your kids do? If your kids get an F in class, if they get a D in class, come on. What do they do? Never mind. Okay. Listen, after this settlement I'm telling you, Marie says you're right. Listen, Muriel says they shouldn't be making any mistakes. 1,000%. 1,000%. Watch this. Nikki says, I saw your video on taking collections off after you pay it. That's going to be a game changer for me because that's what's bringing down my score. 1,000%. 1,000%. We as consumers care about our credit scores. Let's be totally honest. We honestly do. That's why we're watching this video. That's why we make disputes. That's why we pay people to get certain things removed. We care about it. We care about it because we care. We shouldn't have to go through all this drama. The laws need to be changed. Am I wrong or right? Okay. It shouldn't be, well, Calvin, this law is this law is this. It ain't about all that. It's about making the process better for me to reestablish myself, for me to say, hey, that was me two years ago. That was me 4 years ago. I lost my job. I was out of work. I was whatever that person went through. I knew about the bill. I couldn't afford it. Whatever that was, I completely forgot. They should be able to reestablish themselves. Some people get mad at me. Why are you mad at me? Listen, I care so much that I actually keep up with this stuff and give you all the information. But some people want me to be like the rest of these credit people out here, where they just saying anything. Okay. What happened to, listen, come on now. I'm not going to go down the list. I shouldn't have to go down the list of all these people that got shut down because they've been telling you stuff. We're not going to do it. Moving on. Rio says that settlement money is a joke. The real leverage is to use it to get stuff deleted and dispute items through CFPB and seek the damages. You're right. But after this, let's be honest. Should we have to do all that? We shouldn't have to. After the settlement, the dispute process will be even harder. Saeed gets it. Who sees the future? I see the future. He says after the settlement, the dispute process will be getting even harder, right? I bet deleting negative information stays for the correct term. Woo! That's what y'all not realizing. Don't want what you don't want. You said, hey, this is inaccurate. No problem. We'll make it accurate. Now what? Moving on. When he says, first thing we do when our SSI posts, we pay our bills, the amount due on time, and we add an extra $10 a month just on a mortgage principal, bringing it to more than $50 a month. Being on top of your stuff. Saeed says, when are you going to talk about Navy Federal? You know what? So here, I'm going to do that video, man. I'm going to do the video. Here. I'm going to see if I can make time for that tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow morning for sure. Tomorrow morning for sure. It's nothing too crazy, but it's something to keep an eye out for, especially if you're with Navy Federal, because they're going to be making some changes soon too. It's a new year. Everybody's making changes. People are tired of fraud. They're tired of scams, right? They're okay with strategies, but they're not okay with because we got to be careful with the word hack. Hack does not mean anything bad. Hack just means if you do this way and the bank is okay with it, then if it's not fraudulent, you know what I'm saying? Moving on. Rio says, I think it's going to get easier. They're not going to communicate with the other bureaus to correct it. All 3 bureaus have to be correct. Check this out. Rio, I hear you. Here again. Think about this. Based on what you're saying, Rio, and I'm not saying you're wrong, because this is what they've been doing. Rio, you are 100% correct. This is what they've been doing. But here's the thing. Now it's costing them more. Something's going to change. Think about it. Because if it doesn't, get ready to pay $15 million every year. What kind of company model is that? That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Apostle Jones says they never investigate. Many of the disputes are done by people who live and work in foreign countries. Oh, you ain't lying about that. Right? They will always hire people outside the U.S. and they will always make mistakes. Then they're going to keep on getting hit with a $15 million fine. I'm going to be honest. I don't see that happening because it never got to this point. We're going to see. All I know is we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. Okay. Courtney says, I got denied. Okay. And due to a criminal record because they had the same name and birth date as me, but they never confirmed the social security number. That's a shame. And that should be removed. And you know, it's crazy. You know, here, I'm going to give you all something that some people probably don't think about. I know that 70 to 80%, because I know this, I'm telling you, I know this. What if 70 to 80% of disputes are people disputing accurate negative information? Let's just say that that's the number. What about the people that actually have inaccurate information that should be removed? You know what's messed up? They don't even take a look at it. They just assume that people are just trying to get accurate items removed. That's where a lot of this stems from. Am I right or wrong? Right? Okay. Rio says you're arguing moral accuracy versus factual accuracy. Morally, yes. It may be accurate they actually purchased the product. Factually, it's inaccurate information and it has several discrepancies. Rio, I'm with you. But what I'm saying is, let's take moral out of it. You dispute something, positive or negative. You dispute something, positive or negative. Why are you disputing it? Because it's inaccurate, right? They're saying no problem. Let's make that accurate. If it's not yours, let's remove it. If it's yours, what does that mean? What if it's yours and it's inaccurate? What does that mean? Anybody thought about that? They're going to make it accurate. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Nikki says, or at least update it. I have stuff reported after I paid it off. Absolutely. Give me the zero balance. Give me some points back. Listen, isn't that more realistic? Isn't that more realistic? Right? If a person has a $500 charge off and they throw $500 at it, shouldn't they be able to get their points back? I fixed the problem. Moving on. Caleb says, I will sell the company immediately. Right? Because they always in trouble. God DNA says, oh, wow, I need to pay attention and follow this channel. I keep telling you, I'm putting people on game because I'm making you think about the future. A lot of people in the credit industries is like, no, this is wrong. This is this. I hear you. What if they make it right? I know we don't think about that. Right? Philip says, listen, I'm still waiting on my checks from the CFPB investigation from the credit bureau. Listen, this is coming for sure. This is coming for sure. Right? This is coming for sure. Who's next? TransUnion's next. TransUnion's next. Shantae says, listen, I'm happy about it. I was actually a victim of identity theft. The only problem is when it happened, I was 15 years old. I've shown proof that it wasn't me. And it was in another state that I've never lived in. They probably didn't even look at her profile. They didn't even look at her dispute. Right? So he says anything accurate, regardless if it's negative, should be on your credit reports. That's what people don't want to hear, Saeed. They don't want to hear that. But what people don't understand, that's how things should be. But what laws should change? The 7-year rule. Don't have some negative on my credit report for 7 years. Give me like 2-3 years, like an inquiry. Inquiry's on there for 2 years, right? Or if I pay something, like we know about this, the FICO 10 and FICO 10T, if you pay a collection, right, they're going to improve your credit score. About time. We've been talking about this for years, right? Let me redeem myself. Forget all these laws they're not going to follow, right? Let me decide. Let me at least play a role in this outside of a dispute, accurate or inaccurate. Let me redeem myself. Am I right or wrong? Right? That's the thing. Shantae says the info still has not been removed. I filed suit last month before the CFPB took action. Right? Absolutely. Yanobi says that part. I'm going through that right now. Right? Nikki says right. And I paid it and they still reporting it negatively. That's what we're talking about. They should do their job, but they also need to change some of these laws. One for sure. Marie says after 7 years, they change the year. They change the year and make it fresh. Ain't that something? Real says, I do agree with you that there should be a process directly with the bureaus to allow it to be paid off. 100%. Because let's be totally honest, guys. At the end of the day, we're really trying to accomplish things, right? We're really trying to accomplish things. We're trying to accomplish, right, home ownership. We're trying to get that high limit credit card. We're trying to improve our credit scores. We're not just trying to just do random stuff. We're not just trying to do that. We're really trying to grow, right? We're not trying to ask for money, borrow money, not pay it back, and keep that cycle going. We're not trying to keep doing that. I don't know, unless that's what you're trying to do. But we're actually trying to say, hey, listen, I know I made a mistake, but let me redeem myself. That's how it should be. God DNA says, I agree, right? When he says, and then it gets bounced other agencies so they can continue doing it. And that's the thing. They still treating us like this, like it's in high school, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, Apostle Jones says they borrow God's laws after 7 years, your debt should be canceled. But instead of wiping off all your debts, they sell it to a third-party collection agency. Absolutely. God DNA says they should just start fresh with a credit system. Listen. Listen. This is most definitely on the table. Do you know how many people are affected by these 3 credit bureaus? By Equifax, TransUnion, Experian? Let's be totally honest. Every single American. This is major. Listen, Elizabeth says, but not let's just talk about it. How can we make this real? Right? Man. And that's the thing. I will be honest with you. In California, I forgot her name. But she was the one that said, reclaiming my time. But she's been advocating for this for years. We talked about this. She's been advocating, and she's in California, and she's been advocating for this for years. The 7-year rule. They're fighting to make this 2 to 3 years. They pushed this to the side for the past 10 years. They've been pushing that to the side. These are things that might come up. So we'll see. We'll most definitely see. Miro says, what do I think Trump will do? Man, that's a good question. One, Trump does not like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Y'all do know that, right? If you guys have not watched my 2025 FICO changes, go watch that today. Make that something you watch. Trump does not. I don't know if y'all saw that. Let me see if I can pull this image up. Trump and Elon do not like. Let me Google that real quick. You're gonna see this. Watch this. Elon CFPB. Where's the image at? He made a tweet. Here it is right here. I'm going to show y'all. Let me share this right here. Watch this. Elon said, this was November. This is in 2024. He says, delete the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let me move this over so y'all can see it. There are too many duplicative regulatory agencies. Trump and Elon, because you can't just say Trump no more. Y'all know that. We ain't gonna get into politics, but this is his right-hand man. This is somebody who put their money on the table. This is somebody who paid people to vote. Facts. These are facts. He said, delete the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. There are too many duplicative regulatory agencies. Mind you, this is the same Consumer Financial Protection Bureau you're looking at right now on your screen. That's on top of Equifax. So what do you all think is going to happen? Trump, here's the thing. Short version is Trump does not like how the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is on top of all these companies looking out for the consumer. They don't like that. You know why? Because Trump and Elon are business first. Business first. They say, listen, if you keep finding all these businesses, how are they going to have the money and the profits to pay the employees? That's how that's what they're selling. Y'all gonna see. Listen, I'm gonna go a step further. Are there any Trump supporters that have gotten the Lexington Law and creditrepair.com checks? I need to know. Because the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau made that happen. Y'all don't want to hear that. Let's keep moving. All right. So now, moving on. Let's see here. Make the process better, right, for consumers and change the laws. That's all we asking for. At the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. Let's be honest. We don't care about disputes. Unless it's inaccurate information, make it accurate, do your job. We totally get that. But let us be in a position where we can redeem ourselves, right? Elizabeth said, what happened with Navy Federal? You got to wait. I'll tell you tonight. I know some of you guys are thinking, well, I'll just Google it. Yeah, you won't be able to find this one. I'll show it to you, right? Slash says, bro, is going crazy with the content. Man, Slash, things keep happening. Things keep happening. Listen, let me tell you, a shout out to Sledge, man. You know, listen, I hope you guys have been learning so much from him and I doing our interviews. This man has over 30 plus, 40 plus credit cards. Been most definitely giving you all the gems along the way. Sledge, actually, I got to send you a message, man. We got to do an interview next week, man. So that's for sure. But anyway, here's the thing. Everybody needs these credit bureaus. We need them because they have to pull our score from somewhere, right? Now, I'm not saying it needs to be all this drama, but either way, moving on, right? CT says you came to 25 with some power. Man, listen, it's crazy out here. Rio says we need to start a petition for the credit agencies to allow payoff negotiation. Now, that's a great idea. 1,000%. You know what? California has something like that going on right now. Like, I'm dead honest. California has a lot of things on the table. Hold on. Let me get her name right because I'm not going to disrespect her. Let me see here. It's Reclaiming My Time. Where is it at? Maxine Waters. We're going to make sure we get her name right. Give her flowers now. Let me tell y'all something. Here, let me show y'all this. For those who are still here, number one, y'all are crazy for still being. No, I'm kidding. But here, check this out. Maxine Waters, right? We're going to talk about this. Credit bureaus. You know how many people? Woo! Listen. Watch this. I'm going to share it because this is the stuff people don't talk about. Let me show y'all this. This is the stuff that never makes the news. But see, listen, your favorite credit repair person doesn't study the industry. Moving on. I've been watching this for a long time. Do you all see this? Let me zoom in on this. Ranking member Maxine Waters applauds the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's rule. Okay. This is when she was talking about, this was just recently. Okay. About medical debt. Maxine Waters, 2021. Waters at a hearing on overhauling the credit reporting system. Years we've been talking about this. Waters tell the CFPB to shut down Equifax. Y'all see this? It doesn't make the major news because why? They don't want to make this happen. This is why the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is now stepping up. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau been here, but the way that they've been pressing, do you know why they've been pressing so hard? Let me go back. This ain't got nothing to do with politics. Take politics out of this. But in order for laws to change, you need politics, right? You need it. But when I say take politics out, I don't care who you voted for. We're not going to start that up in here because y'all let politics separate us as America. There are people going through so much in different other countries. There are people who wake up poor, they sleep poor, they can't even leave a lot of their circumstances. We live in America and we let stupid stuff separate us. People are willing to fight for certain things. I'm not going to get into politics, but this last year, it was too much. It was a lot. It was too much. Too much. Anyway, check this out. Y'all see it. This is why. Listen, she's been talking about this for years. Let me show y'all what else she's been talking about. Just Google it. Google Maxine Waters credit bureaus. I dare you. I dare you. She's been talking about this. Okay? She's been talking about this. 2019. Do y'all see how old this is? It don't never make it to big news. She says, listen, let's go to this article. I'm gonna pull this up and see if this is the one I want to talk about. She says, listen, I remember this too. And I talked about this for those who've been rocking with me for a long time. Y'all gonna see. Where is it at? Blah, 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 blah. Where's it at for the years? Oh man, they're not talking about it. Okay, it's not on that article. It's not on that article. But either way, long story short, she was talking about how the 7-year rule needs to go away. Right. And she also talked about some other things as well, too. Some things that are slowly happening that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is really getting all the credit for. This all started with Maxine Waters. For those who don't know who Maxine Waters is, this is Maxine Waters. She's been talking about this for years. Shout out to Maxine Waters. Listen, y'all better give her flowers. OK, because why? She's getting older. And listen, as people get older, they're going to step down. And when they step down, people are going to stop talking about things. She's been trying to make changes for years. Listen, y'all see this? This is when she's been talking to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. She says, y'all aren't doing enough. Y'all aren't doing your job. She's the one that got all of this started. Do y'all understand this? They say everybody's like, well, about time. She's been fighting for this. She's been fighting. She's been front facing with this for years. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau been out for years. We ain't never seen them this active before. Do you know why they're this active? 2 reasons. One, because people are on them like Maxine Waters, but mainly number 2. You know why? For those who don't know, let me bring up something else. See, I keep up with this. Your favorite credit repair person don't keep up with this. So here, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. See, these are real changes. I'm gonna show y'all. Watch this. Google Trump CFPB. Google it. You know why I care? Because I want to make sure I bring you all just more than just, well, if you do this and you can get stuff removed. Moving on. All right, anyway, Trump team eyes hiring freeze. Regulatory rollbacks for CFPB. Look at this. This is what 2 days ago. This is why they're getting so many lawsuits started, because they know when the Trump administration comes in, you're going to see a slowdown. They're changing management. He has the power to change the upper level management with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What does that mean? He's going to get his people in there. Y'all know how Trump do it. Let's be honest. Even Trump supporters know this. Y'all know how Trump do it. He get his friends in there, which means he gets unqualified people. Am I right or wrong? Trump gets unqualified people in these positions of power. He says, hey, you've been supporting me. You've been working at the bank for how many years? You been working at the bank? Well, I've been working at the bank. It don't matter. You're running a CFPB now. Come on in. All right, what you want me to do, Trump? And then, Elon gonna be at the table too. What you want me to do, Trump? What are you gonna say? Listen, we got to stop going after all these companies. We have to. They're sending me text messages. They're sending me emails. They're saying, hey, listen, I sent you this money, Trump. Come on now. I sent you this money. You're supposed to be looking out for me. This is why man. Woo. This is crazy. Saeed says the new Navy federal lawsuit exposes how easy it causes fraud to be at Navy Federal Credit Union, right? That worries me. Denying mortgages, freezing accounts, and fraud with Navy Federal. Listen, for real. Someone says, should I open it? Come on, Mark. Mark says, should I open up a high yield savings account with Capital One? I'm not saying you shouldn't, but just do know they got in trouble. So proceed with caution. Okay. All right. CT says, yes, you are. You are preaching it. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, Mark, it's up to you, but proceed with caution. I'm being honest with you. Okay. Big Biz Boss says, listen, okay, we understand it, the lows, but let's talk about the positive of something. The positive part, if something's not on there, it got to go. 1,000%. If it's inaccurate, it needs to go. I said, and I've said that too, not in a bad way, but I'm 100% on that. I'm 100% on that, right? Carrie says, exactly. Credit bureaus should be nationalized and cut all the BS out. Carrie says, Maxine Waters, that's right. Absolutely. Listen, y'all know what Elon want to do? Let me go back. Listen, and just in case people forgot, I'm not going to go back into it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Y'all know what this is. Y'all know. I'm going to leave that up there, right? Rio says, I prefer the Vantage scoring model. FICO is slow processing data and updating credit scores. Rio, you are on to something, my friend. This is why listen, people told me I was crazy. People told me, Calvin, you can't keep talking about, nobody cares about Credit Karma scores. I'm going to just have a moment of silence for them. That not only are, listen, one, let's be honest. See, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. In Memphis, you had something called Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. There was something, a big deal. I haven't looked this up in years, but they didn't like how they were essentially monopolizing the industry, where you paid them for water, you paid them for light, you paid them for gas, right? One company, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, MLG&W. I remember my mom used to get that bill, MLG&W. Said, oh, this MLG&W bill, right? You paid them for everything if you lived in Memphis. Now, a lot of states don't operate like that. They just don't. A lot of states do not operate like that. What am I saying here? Here's the thing. VantageScore showed the lawmakers, they say, listen, FICO is monopolizing the industry. Y'all won't let anybody else compete. Do you know why? Because FICO is in their pockets. Anytime something don't make sense, follow the money. I got a smart group of people here. I look at my analytics. I know that the average person that's watching my channel is 35 to 65 years old. Y'all are smart people. You all are smart people. Anytime something don't make sense, we need to follow the money. We got to follow the money. Okay? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Right. He would try to scrap it. That's the reason for the hearing at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Seattle's in the house. Appreciate you being here, Pain and Sound. Good morning. Everyone hit that like button. Y'all be on me too. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that reminder, Scooter. Carrie says, because the Trump and Elon administration is about to curtail their authority. They move away. Listen, y'all heard what Elon said. It's about to be a revolution. This ain't nothing about Democrat versus Republican, none of that. He says it's about to be a revolution. What does that mean? Y'all better look that up. Listen, if I had to choose, I would prefer TransUnion be taken out. Their customer service is not good at all. It is trash. Janae says, morning with the fly. Listen, give Maxine give Maxine Waters her flowers, please. Let's go back to Maxine Waters. You know the reason why all of this stuff is happening? Because of this woman right here. Listen, this ain't got nothing to do with black people. This ain't got nothing to do with black history. This is the one person that just so happened to care enough to say, we are not talking about this. She's been talking about this for years. Banks face tighter scrutiny. She's been talking about this for years. She's the one, she asked Equifax questions for years. Man, y'all not hearing me. Helen says, Auntie Maxine has always been doing her job. You better believe it. Auntie Maxine says she don't get no respect. Shout out to Congresswoman and a voice for the people. This is how stuff happens behind the scenes. We see it on the news. See, a lot of people don't know this stuff until they hit the news. I am the news before the news. I am the credit news before the news. I'm going to do my best to bring you all the information because they don't care about this stuff. They don't care. Pain and Sound says, scary times. You better believe it. Rio says, Trump bringing the hood with him. He just got out of jail. Listen. Woo. Trump says he's going to have his people running the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Look at this. Trump considering pretty significant changes. He's not playing. He is trying to dismantle. You know why? Money. Most of the companies that are backing Trump they support him. let's not make this about choosing a side. We're talking about basic economics. If someone supports you financially, you look out for them. Would you all agree? That's all I'm saying. They support him financially. They say, hey, I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to make sure my employees vote for you. I'm going to tell everybody I would say, listen, I support you. I vouch for you. Do you know why? Because when a person takes office, it's like, hey, listen to my complaints. I'm not saying look out for me. Wink, wink. I'm saying, hear me out. No different than when Biden had one. And he says, listen, I'm going to make sure all student loans go away. Everybody that has student loans, black, white, yellow, brown, short, tall, young, or old, Republican or Democrat, was like, hey, I got student loans. Now, if you, hey, listen now, don't listen. I ain't vote for you. But if you can make these student loans go away now, hold on now. You know, hey, am I right or wrong? Same thing here. If I vouch for you, look out for me. Hear me out. If I vouch for you, hear me out. That's what's about to happen. Right here, 2 days ago, law.com, what does it say? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is digging in for its last days of the Biden term. But what happens next? Woo! Y'all gonna see, man. Y'all gonna see. All right. Listen, Payne Sound says, I'm moving to Thailand. Listen, I wouldn't move, to be honest. You know it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but here. Thailand, listen, China not messing around. China's the reason why I truly believe, you guys want to hear my opinion on TikTok? I truly believe TikTok did not want all this drama. I truly believe that. Here's what I honestly don't believe. As a content creator as well, too, TikTok says, hey, Calvin, you qualify for a monetization on TikTok. They sent me this a long time ago. They said, in order for us to pay you, we need a photocopy of your ID and your social security number. I said, y'all can keep that money. I'm not giving you that. What you need that? YouTube has never asked me for that. Facebook has never asked me for that. I'm just saying. So here's what I'm saying. TikTok, I honestly feel the Chinese government said, hey, listen, how many Americans we got on this platform? We got a lot of Americans on this platform. That's good to know. That's how I think the conversation went. I truly believe they didn't want to start all that, and now it's turned into something else. But I truly believe now that the Chinese government is most definitely involved. They're not stupid. But that's why I'm only bringing this up because of the whole Thailand reference. Be careful. Carrie says, seriously, I believe Trump just goes to any, mini, mighty, mo when he's choosing people. This man chose a news anchor. I'm done. Listen, I'm not knocking. This ain't even political. If your job, moving on, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to do it. Listen, his criminal friends like him. Man, you hit it right on the head. Listen, Philip says we need more strong fighters in Congress in other areas. Courtney says, dang, Capital One too. They made a close my auto account marked negative when my cosigner card when the card doesn't. And I called and disputed, and nothing has changed for the past 2 years. They're not doing their job, Courtney. They're not doing their job. Michael says that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is working double time to prove that they are doing something so that Trump and Elon doesn't shut them down for doing nothing. I'm going to bring this back up. I'm going to leave that up there. Roxy says, your hypocrisy is ridiculous. I guess you think Democratic presidents do not get their people in. No. It's not that. It's not that at all. What I'm saying is that, I try my best not to bring politics in this. I'm going to be totally honest. But you got to understand something. Is that, and it's good and bad on both sides. I think Democrats try to make everybody happy. And I think Republicans more so say, hey, listen, we don't care about who's happy. We're going to do what we think is right. I think that's a fair statement. And because Democrats try to make everybody happy, when you say everybody, that kind of mixes the bag up. And people don't like people. People don't like people. People don't like certain people, right? But Republicans are like, listen, we ain't got to deal with none of that. We're going to tell you what's going to happen, and you're going to deal with it. I think that's very fair. This is why it is what it is. Am I right or wrong? Moving on. All right. So now don't eliminate the VantageScores. Oh, VantageScores are here to stay. By the way, sidebar, y'all do know that VantageScores were created by Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Y'all do know that, right? To be direct competition with FICO. Y'all do know that, right? Because FICO, here's the thing. FICO is nothing without the reports. They don't make credit reports. Let's be clear. The bureaus make the reports, but they need the scores to say, hey, listen, this is what it is. But FICO is in bed with all of the banks, right? When you go to the dealership, they put in your FICO score. When you go to the mortgage company, they put in your FICO score. When you're applying for an apartment, they're looking at your FICO score in most cases. But VantageScore, hey, listen, they should be looking at multiple scores. FICO is in bed. They say, listen, don't y'all let them do this. That's why this is there. This has nothing to do with who you voted for. This has to do with who's in office, who's his right-hand man, and who is looking out for the people, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's going to be gone soon. Not gone, but they're going to make some change. People are going to be gone. Why would you get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? Give me a reason. I'm going to leave this up there. Give me a reason. Right? Sledge says the one thing people need to understand is that the three major credit bureaus also started VantageScore in 2006. That's crazy. I was just saying it. They don't understand that, Sledge, right? He said Capital One deposit issues 2 a day. There's always something. He says, listen, people suffer from lack of knowledge, and you're giving us the knowledge. I'm trying my best to do it. CT says, I'm so glad you brought this lady to my attention. I've seen her before, but I had no idea she was working for us. Let me tell y'all something. She is working for us. She is working for America. If you have a credit score, she's working for you. Boom. That's what people got to understand. See, people keep choosing colors. They keep choosing, well, I'm going to go red. I'm going to go blue. Well, I'm going to go Democrat. I'm going to go Republican. That's fine. Do your thing. Make your choice. But at the end of the day, this is a credit channel. We're going to focus on credit. This affects our industry. Do you understand? I'm not getting into that. I'm more so saying, listen, everybody don't care about your credit score and report. They care about that money. You better follow that money. Kerry says, LOL. Apostle Jones says, you got to pay to play, right? Sled says, the businesses that loan you the money for mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, the credit bureaus are being able to charge you high. I'm telling you. So this Real says, why is she going after the CFPB that helps instead of the credit reporting agencies? Because here's the thing. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has the power. Who else have you seen? Say, hey, company, you're not doing this right. Fine. Fix this. Do this. That's why she didn't go after them. She says, listen, do your job. People didn't know the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau didn't even exist. People have been using the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to dispute. They never did. You know what? Because they're the only ones that's saying, hey, listen, do your job. Maxine says, hold on now. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, y'all not doing your job. She's right. Listen, how long has Equifax been doing this? Not investigating your disputes. How long have they been doing this? How long has this been going on? Right? Exactly. SSNs. Now what? Exactly. She said China said $2 million to support the victims of California. Listen, here's the thing. Sometimes it's just a political move. I'm not saying, listen, I don't know. I just don't trust China, man. It's just, that's how I want to get to politics, but they always be doing something. Look at what's going on with China and the Philippines. When they are trying to get like fish and feed their people, they're spraying water in their faces. I need to look that up. Marie says, please let's not bring into politics. We not. I'm just saying you can't trust certain things, right? You can't trust certain things. But here, check this out. God DNA says, well, politics is more important than our credit score because your credit score doesn't matter if you can't afford anything. Listen, watch this. It's funny how the CEO of TikTok will be front and center at the inauguration Monday. So suspect. It's going to cost them some money. Let me tell you something. Trump only going to show up to that money. This is, listen, if you support him, he's going to look out for you just like anybody else. If you play basketball and your friends show up for you and your friend got a concert, are you going to show up at your friend's concert? We're talking about basic friendship, not politics, basic human friendship. Y'all missing out. Okay. Marie says the Democratic Party isn't the same like it used to be. It isn't. Let's be honest. It's not. It's not the same. That doesn't mean leave the side. That doesn't mean, listen, we're not going to go into politics, but I'm just saying this is the conversation because people got to fight for people. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. It's a fight for American people. I don't care. Like at the end of the day, if there's a new law, is it benefiting me or is it hurting me? I want you to all to ask yourself these questions. If the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, right? If the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is on top of things like this, is that helping you or hurting you? Listen, okay? Apostle Jones says, Calvin, you need to bring back that video you did using Advantage scores when applying for a mortgage. Oh, listen, I'll talk about that. I can talk about that. Right? Shantae says, Joe decided not to enforce the TikTok ban. He's leaving it to Trump. Learn the game and play it well. There's only one credit bureau in the C, and that's a CFB. Listen, she ain't lying. They ain't doing it. Now, Rio said they're doing their job from my perspective, right? We put the disputes in, they send them to the bureaus. It's the bureaus that's not doing their job. At the end of the day, that's what it comes back to, right? All right. Now, here's the deal. Now, for those of you who are interested in home ownership, I know this. Listen, for those of you who are interested in home ownership, accomplishing your credit goals, we do have our 90-day home buying challenge. Okay. We do have our 90-day home buying challenge. The link is inside of the chat as well, too, for those who are here. I'm going to put that link inside of there as well, too. All right. For those who don't know, we also own another YouTube channel, and that is the Easy Homeowner as well. All right. But either way, I want to make sure you guys get that link for those of you all who do have the goal of home ownership this year. Okay. We want to make sure that you guys know about that as well, too, since I got your attention real quick. I'm going to put that in there for those who are interested in home ownership. That's why we've been talking about home ownership these past couple of days. All right. So again, I know that's a goal that a lot of people are looking to accomplish. I'll put that link inside of the chat as well, too, if you all are interested. All right. Now, people don't want to confront their own greed. It's called support. All right. There you go. Absolutely. Listen, Miro says, thank you so much for my 822, 834, 836 credit scores. I bought the ebook and I followed the instructions. The game has changed for me. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Miro. Most definitely appreciate you being here. Either way, guys, listen, we got to run. Okay. But listen, if you all have not done so, make sure you guys go ahead. Again, if you're looking to not just looking to accomplish home ownership this year, but if you're looking to accomplish your credit goals in general, okay, then you most definitely want to join our credit community. We talk about this stuff all the time. Listen, I told my community about this morning before we even went live. I told my community about this. Okay. So again, the community always gets the information first. Okay. I'm telling you. All right. The consumers, listen, they're gonna always get the information first. All right. But either way, I'm gonna put this up here real quick just so you guys can see this. Okay. Either way, with our credit community, you get instant access. Well, first off, you find out about things like this first. Okay. Then, of course, you get access to my advanced credit blueprint that has helped thousands of people nationwide improve their credit scores, weekly live Q&As. You can also send me a direct DM. That's not going to last forever. All right. We also have our 90-day home buyer challenge. Scan that QR code. To learn more about our community. Okay. You most definitely want to go ahead and do that as well. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Greatly appreciate the conversation. All right. Marie says, congratulations, Miro. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Rio says, great live and thank you. All right. Now, this is another thing, too. Wild Heart says, which people really set us up to protect others and not just themselves? Get real with our own responsibility towards community in our country. That is who we are. That's right. Protect your house. It's up to us. You listen, we can't wait on any politician or anybody, but we got to make sure we take care of our household. We got to make sure we be on top of stuff like that. All right. Rio says, great live. Thank you. Appreciate you all being here.